The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day out there, a safe day. It's a TGIF, and I do want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day out there, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. You are responsible for your own happiness. Happiness never comes from outside of you. If you put your happiness in someone else's hands, they can always take it away. Happiness can only come from inside you and is a result of your love. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 105, NASDAQ off 21, S&P's off 11. Gold contract up $12.20, trading at $1,390 an ounce. Silver up 39 cents at $21.98 an ounce. Platinum down $8 at $1,445 an ounce. Copper flat at $3.19 a pound. Light sweet crude up $1.11, trading out at $97.80. Bonds up 15 ticks at 140.06. King dollar down 112 ticks at 80.63. The euro was down 27, trading out at 133, and the yen, folks, is down 106 at 94.31. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Just call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Down $9. Bottom line, you're at 1627. We did 500 million versus about 700. What I expect you're still going to see, folks, is that you're going to still see this 1655 trying to get nailed. Because watch this. I just went. There's the daily on the cash S&P. When you put this on a weekly, what you're going to see is this. In fact, I'll put the SPY up so you can see the direct correlation with the volume characteristic underneath it if you happen to be watching Tiger TV. If you're not, we're going to explain it to you right now. And what you're going to see on a weekly basis is this. Deviance in the market, baby. It's a beautiful thing. So, the SPY. SPY, we go back to the 24th of May. Excuse me, folks. High was 169. What happens? You come off the high with volume. That week, we came down at 780 million. Next week, get to a lower low, you come down with 598 million. Next week, guess what? You come down with 926 million. So that's your A to B structure. You have, right now, what you have is this. You have a high volume, low swing point. That is the B point. What do we do this week? Well, guess what, folks? What we did is that you got to a higher high. It's coming into, and it was trying to break down this week, and it couldn't break down. And it did that with 731 million. So what you have is this. You have 731 million going into 926. Now, that totally makes sense. Why? Because what happens, folks, is that the market's all about energy. It's breathing. Energy, okay? You have 3 weeks on the way down. It's breathing. It's going to have to build some cars before it go break the B point. That's my take on getting why this wants to go to the 1655. And this is how it's trading, okay? So, that's your SPY. Dow Industrial set up the exact same way. We have with the Dow, and by the way, it's still an ABC structure on the way down. That's the way this is set up. Dow comes down $1.05 out here today. You turn around, we put this on a weekly basis. Not as clean as the S&P. I can tell you that. It's definitely not as clean as the S&P. You know, so it's going to be like the S&P is saying yes, it wants to go up there. Dow, not as clean. NASDAQ composite. We take a look at the composite. What'd you have with the composite? We did 1.4 billion today, which is really shot volume, no doubt. Where the composite set up, we turn around, we take the composite down. Composite, we'll turn around, I'll put the 3 Qs up, and you'll see on a weekly basis what we have. The 3 Qs were down 48 cents today. We put this on a weekly basis, and what you have is going to need a lot more volume to crack this B point. So we came off the high. We take a look at the Qs. We come off the high at $74.95. That had volume off the high, 185 million. Next week, basically tries to go sideways. Well, it does go sideways, 129 million. Now we get a high volume low. Next week is 226 million. That's last week. High volume low. This week we're trying to get into that low. It doesn't do it with 163 million. Well, and we got to 71.55, folks, and 71.47 was the low. So that really is almost a test. 163 going against the 226. That says that the bounce is still in place, and I suspect, you're going to bounce Monday or Tuesday. Gold contract. Let's take a look at gold out here. What we did with gold is this. Gold today, no volume topside, goes up 11 bucks, 95,000 contracts. That still puts gold in the precarious position that it wants to go after these two separate swing lows, the 1338 level, which was from May, and May, and then the April low is still hanging out there, which is 1323. Bond market, different ball game, baby. Bond market, what did it do? Back inside the range. It started moving yesterday. We did 379,000 contracts today, which is not a lot, by the way, but you are in the higher range once again. You did the test at the bottom. You had a sign of strength out here yesterday. Wide price spread, accelerated volume. You had it all. But we'll see whether bonds are definitely going to need is another large sign of strength, and that's wide price spread, accelerated volume, in order to get higher than the 141 area. Right now we're at 140.06. King dollar. Let's go take a look at King dollar out here, folks. What we have with King dollar, DXM3. So, King dollar, she's trading at 80.61, and the way King dollar is, she's going to come down and test this 80.55. She got to 80.59 today. Anemic volume, by the way, okay? Only 14,000 contracts, but you know what? She just wants to get lower before she gets higher. That's how this is set up right now. Now, in the context of the ABC structure and the way down, this is what you want to wrap your head around. So, we came off the highs with volume, came downtown. We came back up, have lighter volume. The bond market, folks, is one of the deals out there that is screaming because they started buying bonds hand over fist again yesterday. That, guess what? We're going to be pulling back. And if you want to see an equity that we talk about high volume lows, in fact, we got a call on this one on Wednesday, and it was Walter Energy, WLT. Well, the low today was 1176, the high's 48, and this is before they halted the stock, folks. They halted the stock because of the fact there's a loan that's getting pulled or they're not going to get. But when you take a look at Walter Energy, okay, so what you had is this, okay, she got halted when she got down to, she had a spike down intraday. Yeah, she got down to 1176. Then she bounced up to 1319, and then they halted it. They halted it out at 1215. Now, Wednesday we got that call. When you take a look at this, and this is what high volume spikes, not spikes, high volume lows are all about, folks, okay? Bottom line, it was screaming, okay, that it wanted to get into that low. Now, it broke the low. And that's when you have high volume lows, folks, I'm telling you, man, don't get close to them. In this particular case, what had happened is that someone knew it was going on even a couple months ago, because this had been coming down with volume. The high volume low out there had 91 million shares that we're dealing with. 2 months ago, it had come down with 136 million shares, got to a price point of 1626. The last month, it come down, and it stayed at 1608, but it had 147 million. What that was doing is this. It's pushing with huge acceleration with volume going into the low. Now, this low is going to get blown away. And that low getting blown away is going to basically put it into $5, $5.70. We'll see whether they can survive the whatever is happening to them out there. But it's you want to see high volume lows, high volume highs. When you have high volume low or high volume high, folks, they're going to get tested. When you're coming into a high volume level, whether it's high or low, and you see volume expanding, the probability goes higher that it's not only going to get tested, it's going to break. So let's say you have a high volume high, and you have volume, let's say even a year ago, good volume on the way up, right? As you start coming back topside, what you're going to see is that if you start pushing with volume on the way up, your probability goes dramatically higher that, you know what, you're going to bust that high volume high, you're going to go to a higher high. It could very well be an ABC structure on the way up. That's the way that's set up. So Bank of America up in Boston out here today. Is it in Boston? Yeah, I think it's in Boston. Check this out, because this is, I'm telling you, these banks are a trip. And Bank of America, bottom line, is a case that's starting in Boston. I think it is in Boston. But bottom line is that they have one of their risk mitigators saying that, and this happened in 2012, folks, that Bank of America was basically giving out $500 bonuses in order to not let people basically refinance their houses and get foreclosed. Big scandal. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.